Gray or black. Everything you said before that shit was whack. You light skinned, but you want to be black. You feel like a potato sack. Hold on. You got booger and know like you was snorting crack. He not done. You like the tank line got pushed way back. Don't talk it. Don't talk it. Bring it back. Bring it back. 5, 6, 7. Skip 9 to 8, bitch. I send your ass to hell.
Hello guys, this is what if Naruto was a seal master and an uchiha. Now let's get started. Yo, be quiet. Chapter 1.
Can you hear me? Stop laughing, you monkey.
Yes, they can hear you.
Actually, got a dinger. What's up, YouTube?
I'm really bored and you just making me laugh, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm moving myself.
I'm gonna restart it again. Yo, are you there? Can you hear me? Did you mute yourself?
See, I'm gonna move myself from box up.
Okay, let me start. Sorry for the interruption of this ape. Now let's get started. This is What If Naruto the Seal Master and one was a Uchiha. Okay, Chapter 1. I picked a small third-person POV. A baby sat alone, their eyes open, purple with the 3 black rings, each one seemingly spaced out perfectly. They were special eyes and very powerful. The elderly man who held the child placed a hand on the child's eyes, showing lovely bright blue eyes. Only he did this to protect the boy from the civilian council. With the boy's parents gone, he had to send the child to an orphanage. So with a heavy heart, he picked up the child and took the child with him back into the now half-destroyed village of Konohagakure. Time skip. 4 years. Naruto POV. I ran down the street, my lung burning from the strain, but I couldn't stop, or I would be in more pain. My heart thudding in my chest was all I could hear for a small while, till the howlers of the village growing louder. I was slowing down. I started to panic. Up my pace, till finally a sharp pain in the back of my leg made me topple over with a small thud. Boom! With a roar of civilians and shinobi alike made me look up with complete utter fear. I wailed and screamed for them to stop! Some seemed pleased, but one seemed upset with my pleads, and before I know it, my throat has been slit. They cheered as I gagged and choked on blood. Everything went black. Mindscape. I slowly came to looking around. I noticed I was in a dark, dingy place where I felt hate, pity, and guilt. Hello? I called out. A soft rumbling made me look behind me to see a huge pair of gates. Creatures seemed to be behind them, but I wasn't sure what. All I could see were claws. Without thinking, I started walking into it, and once I got close enough, I saw A huge giant bunny? I yelled. I'm not a bunny, brat. I'm the great Kyuubi no Yoko, I yelled. My eyes widened. I never knew the Kyuubi was so beautiful. I thought, while slowly getting closer to the cage that held the fox. Its eyes widened and this confused me. He looked surprised. Thank you, Kit. That's the first time any human has ever complimented me since my father. It said seemed to have a slight amount of happiness, but it was gone, just as far as it came. What's wrong? I asked, with a tilt of my head. It sighed, and soon one of the nine tails scooped me up. Aren't you mad at me? Don't you feel anything against me? It asked, seeming agitated. I shook my head and held my hand out to its snout since it held me in front of its face. I could hold it. I giggled at how soft Kyuubi's fur is. Why would I be mad? I asked with curiosity. He looked at me with pure sorrow. Because I am the reason the villagers beat you, call you a demon, a monster. I am the reason your father and mother are dead. It stated. I was shocked. I wanted to be angry. I really did. But some reason I could smile at the Kyuubi. Didn't seem like it did it on purpose. If Kyuubi did, wouldn't it be happy to see me suffer? So you sealed inside me? I asked. It nodded. In response, okay, well, I forgive you. I don't think it's your fault. I mean, wouldn't you be happy to see me in pain then? To me suffering then? But you aren't, I said softly. It was on the verge of tears throughout my short speech, and soon it was crying. Kit, you should be mad at me. Because of me, you won't be able to talk anymore. My eyes widened. I shouldn't be able to talk? It's okay, I said softly after a moment of thinking. It's okay. It's a small price to pay for your friendship, I said happily. It looked at me in shock, then it hit me. That reminds me, what's your name? I blurted out. It looked at me in shock before chuckling and quickly recovering. My name is Kurama, Kit. You're known the first human to ask me my name, he said with a foxy smirk. I giggled, then yelped when I started falling after a poof of smoke and made Kurama disappear. I closed my eyes, thinking I was about to hit the floor, only to feel a pair of strong arms caught me. My eyes slowly opened, and there stood a man with beautiful long reddish-orange hair. His eyes were stunning crimson, with a hint of orange. He wore a red kimono that had golden flame, like embroidery along the bottom and the sleeves end. He had a 9-tailed fox tails and a pair of ears to match all in all. He was one handsome fox man. I blushed looking at him, but it only lasted a second. I needed to ask a question. Kurama, will you be my voice? I asked, looking up at him. He put me down and smiled. Of course, Kit. How about this? I'll enter the academy with you, he said. Then, in a second poof of smoke, he looked at the same. His hair no longer reaching the ground, but it only his waist. He was around my age, but still taller by 3 or 4 inches. I pouted. Damn it, I'm too short, he chuckled. Well, it's cute that you're short. I blushed at his statement. Then my eyes widened. You can hear my thoughts? I yelled out pointing an accusing finger. He burst into a fit of laughter, but he stopped and he turned serious. You're about to wake up. You're in the hospital right now, but don't worry. I'll come out with you before you go. All you need to do is rip off half of the seal on the cage. Then I'll be able to leave, but I'll still be bound to you, he said in knowing tone. Okay, I'm still recording. Before I knew it, He was his large fox again, and used one of his tail to hold me up and seal on the cage. I carefully ripped off the bottom half of the seal. They soon everything started to fade, and Kurama faded with me. The white of the room blinded me for a moment. Before my eyes adjusted, I turned my head to my left to see Gigi-san sitting next to me, to the bed, looking down with a mixed expression between sad and anger. Then I felt a warm claw hand turned my face to see Kurama in his human form. I said happily at him when he returned it with a soft smile, then sudden Gigi gasp, noticing I was awake and that boy with pair of fox ears and the nine-tails stood in the room with his right hand still holding my face in place to look at him. I turned to him and opened my mouth, but nothing came out. My eyes widened. That's right. The villagers did this. Kurama, can you tell him I'm fine? I asked, looking up at him. He only nodded in return, then faces Gigi. Hiruzen, put up a seal and tell your Ambu to leave. We have things to talk about. I mean, no harm. But it's about Naruto. Kurama told Gigi-san. He nodded in return and told the Ambu to leave the place. A privacy seal up. You're the QB. How are you out? And I didn't know you were. Where a man let alone a boy. Are you not much older than a 5-year-old boy? Kurama chuckled. Yes, Hiruzen, I am the QB no Yoku. And no, I have no gender. I just prefer a male body over a female. I changed into young boys because, as I'm sure you know, Naruto can no longer speak. He told me to tell you he's fine, but from this day forward, I'll be his voice. Kurama said with his hand taking mine and gripping it tightly. I made a cracking sound and held my throat in pain. Both of them were my side once a whine of pain left my mouth. Naruto-chan, are you alright? Kurama asked, as Gigi apologized over and over. I only smiled and nodded. Tell Gigi to stop apologizing about this. He didn't cause it. It couldn't be stopped from happening. Tell him to stop blaming himself. Kurama turned to Gigi-san. Old man, you're making Naruto-chan worry. So stop blaming yourself, he said. You shouldn't apologize about something you had no control over, Kurama said. Gigi-san looked wide-eyed, then started laughing. He seemed calm and was happy. He accepted Kurama. Speaking of him, he helped me up and out of bed since Gigi was confirmed that I was able to leave and go home. Kurama held me against his chest with his left arm around my waist and his right hand holding my wrist up. Okay, if this is a gay one, I am literally gonna stop. I'm just not kidding. I'll literally stop this if this is a gay one. But if y'all want me to continue, y'all just have a problem. I'm not even kidding. Like seriously, y'all have a problem. Now let's continue. Where was I again? Okay, before we leave, I want you to tell Naruto about his heritage and give him all of his clans and family scroll, even his father's work. We will be taking the Uzumaki estate within the Uzumaki compound and leaving there. No need to tell anyone since no one even knows where the estate is. I also want that Uchiha boy and Hatake boy to be the one look after Naruto. They will be living with us to make sure Naruto is safe at all times, Kurama said. No, Kurama. Tachi-kun has a family and I wouldn't want to force Kakashi-kun to live with us. Wait, my family has a compound? I stated and asked. Kurama chuckled. Yes, you do. And your father was a fourth Hokage, also known as the Yellow Flash, and your mother was a Red Death, as well as a Red Hot Habanero. I know the Uchiha has a family, but he treats you as a family too, as well as a Hatake boy. Kurama smiled. I let out a broken sigh and nodded my head. I turned to Gigi-san and smiled. Then he turned to lead us out, but stopped in his track. Kurama, could you hide your tails and ears? The people will freak out and try to kill you. Probably even Naruto. Gigi-san said. He growled at that, but he nodded, nothing less. And with a poof, they were gone. Before we leave, I want you to know that Naruto will need me for the rest of his days. And also means that when he enters the academy, and he will, I will be there too. This also means I want you to place me on a team with him, even if I'm an extra person. I mean, 3 humans and 1 chakra beast is a lot better, don't you think? Gigi-san sighed and nodded with a sweet drop, then walked us to the Uzumaki compound and the estate, as well as it gave us hundreds of different sealing scrolls. I was happy with this. And the next chapter, chapter 2, and this is written by Verdrian Smoke. He likes to smoke. I don't know. That's what I just said. So yeah. Chapter 2, Age 9, Naruto POV. I woke up with an arm pulling me against someone. I looked at the time and saw it was 5 o'clock. I peeled Kurama's arm away and got up to make breakfast for Kurama and me. It was just some rice with a bit of curry, chicken and fish. We had small side dishes with veggies and other things like some fruits and tofu, as well as soy sauce and sushi. Sorry. Lastly, I put 2 cups on the table and made tea. Once I was done, I went back upstairs and shook Kurama awake. He gave me a glare and pulled me into bed, with him rolling me up with him in blankets. I sighed and snuggled. Okay, I swear, this is becoming gay shit. I'm checking. I'm out. I'm done with this. What if?